With a lot of us focusing on holiday times, still a lot of crazy stuff going on. If you haven't seen it yet, we're dealing with an egg shortage. That's supposed to get worse. And have you seen and do you feel like that one side of the administration likes to put foreigners above Americans? I know it feels that way for me. And now I'm reading Mayor O'Connell announces he will use taxpayer money to pay the legal fees of illegals facing deportation. Just crazy, right? Thumbs up in the comments if you just think that's completely crazy. How about those sanctuary cities? Getting even thicker with them. It's gotten so bad that they're saying it would take a lifetime to clear the cities of criminals. And you know of what newly group to America that involves? A lot of them at least. Walmart's got new plans for the LG and a whole bunch of letter stuff. And regarding the conflict, a lot of stuff going on over there still. We got NATO military head urges business leaders to prepare for potential wartime scenario, urges extra Ukraine support. Chalk that up to poking the bear some more, I suppose. And regarding all the hurricane victims, yeah, we're talking about Hurricane Helene. So many people still in need of help. And the more you dig into it, the more the truth is horrifying. You know the four-letter word starting with fee and ending in ma? Apparently they're saying that they're actively blocking volunteers from delivering RVs, tiny homes, and other housing units to people living in tents because they're living in a flood zone. Yeah, I'll tell you more about that and some other juicy stuff. And yes, for China, it's balloon season again. Apparently, what a lot of people thought is spying going on. Yeah, apparently we got more balloons in the air. And another thing that's gonna smack you in the face, if you're still shopping at big box, well, they're already stating that they're gonna inflate prices on you. I've got a lot more details on all this stuff that's going to affect you coming right up. My name is Cohen here at Riverside Homestead, and if you're brand new here, welcome. If you guys are into prepping tips, emergency preparedness, and most of all, news and awareness, stuff that you want to know about, be sure to hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date. Let's jump into this one. All right, guys, thanks for starting this off with a like. Let me know down in the comments if you're experiencing an egg shortage in your area, and put the state, what state you're in, and yes or no on if you guys are experiencing a egg shortage, because I'm getting stuff sent to me like this. Have you noticed a shortage of eggs in your local grocery store? Signs of limiting eggs purchased. Do you know of any farms? Lots of people asking, like, where can we get eggs? And this stemming from NBC News, nationwide egg shortage ahead of Thanksgiving, with a lot of them saying it's gonna get worse. Why?
In the run-up to the holiday, you might notice something missing in your grocery store. A nationwide egg shortage is leaving shelves empty. In parts of the country, signs are asking customers to limit the number of eggs they buy because of difficulty sourcing. The main factor is bird flu, hitting 48 states over the last 2 years.
So again, if you guys will, just put it down in the comments. State, prices are up, eggs are hard to find. I'm trying to figure out if this is as big as a deal as they're making it, because we already know they've culled over 100 million birds. We got to keep an eye on this bird flu thing, because this could evolve into another big thing. Not saying it is, but we need to keep an eye on it. Check it out.
New cases of the bird flu are raising alarms among health officials. 53 confirmed human cases across 7 states this year alone. But this week, health officials in California are reporting a possible case in a child who had no known contact with an infected animal.
So now they're talking about, and the question is, human to human. They're also talking about how this thing is evolving potentially.
It's a human, that means that there is human to human transmission going under the radar. And that is one of the signs of something that could, a virus that could be on the verge of becoming pandemic when you have human to human transmission.
You know me, I'm keeping my eyes on the next big thing. Don't know what it's going to be, but this one keeps evolving.
Could we be in a situation where we're facing another pandemic, or one that changes our lives?
Well, that's precisely what we're worried about. The two things that we worry about here are, one, the human-to-human transmission piece. The other is a virus to which we don't have pre-existing immunity. So think back to COVID in 2020. We're in a very different world today. But at that time, it was a new virus to which we had no pre-existing immunity. And that's why we worry about animal viruses that we have not developed immunity to before.
So the other big thing is the impact with bird flu and grocery prices, right? How's that going to affect us?
And as a result, we've had to cull over 100 million birds in this country. So those are birds that are laying eggs. Those are the birds that we're eating. And so, of course, that creates shortages, and that drives prices up at the grocery store.
Another reason prices may go up. Dr. Singander, thank you very much.
So whether you got to watch that or not, sometimes I play clips they remove. Bird flu's getting worse. There's more people that have it. Some cases are serious. They say they're very concerned for it to evolve into a human to human if it hasn't already. And if that has happened, it could become the next big pandemic. No matter what, we have a shortage of poultry, eggs, which means the limited amount price is gonna go up. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I read many articles where they suspected one chicken to have it. And in return, they call 200,000 chickens. Now, the fact that I read multiple reports like that definitely makes me wonder whether or not you did validate. Yahoo Finance is also warning people that the Walmart CFO says they don't want to raise prices, but prices will go up for consumers, and they're blaming it on the upcoming tariffs. Is that really what it is, or do they just put profit over people? I did a video yesterday. The company that we work with, privately owned, debt-free, American-made, non-toxic. I don't think pretty positive their prices won't go up, but we're getting all the signs that you guys can probably expect inflation. More inflation from big box. A little bit on the craziness in big cities. I'm reading articles that say in New York City, ICE director slammed city's sanctuary status. It would take a lifetime to clear up the city of criminals. In this OANN news article, it says New York City Immigration Customs Enforcement Field Officer Director Kenneth Janelo revealed that in New York City, it would take a lifetime to clear up the city of criminals that we have in the context of migrant crime. Over 233,000 migrants now live in New York City following the administration's immigration crisis. Folks, this costs people like us. They say the city has spent over $5 billion on essential services for migrants like housing, food, medical costs, public services, and supplies, as well as administration costs. And that takes me right into the next topic.
In many regards, this election cycle did not go as I had hoped.
In response to Trump's national immigration policies, Frederick Mayor Michael O'Connor pledging to carve out space in his local budget for a legal advocacy fund, which would use tax dollars to pay undocumented immigrants attorneys' fees as they fight deportation.
Ensuring they have the legal support they need to stand strong and remain in this community they have chosen to call home.
O'Connor explaining his intention is to allocate the money to organizations already providing similar legal services, helping them expand the number of people they're able to support, although he's still determining the exact dollar amount to set aside. Some residents we spoke with supportive of the end goal.
I believe a lot of non-immigrant people also contribute to the country as well.
But all of them against their tax dollars footing the bill.
I'm torn.
I don't like the idea. I'd rather our taxpayer money go towards American citizens.
You know, you break the law, it's just what happens. Nobody helped me pay for my attorney fees when I break the law. So why should we be paying for theirs out of taxpayer money?
So it comes at a cost yet again. And what is all this crazy stuff still going on about old FEMA? And says in this post that they're actively blocking volunteers from delivering RVs, tiny homes, and other housing units to people living in tents in Pound WNC, North Carolina, because they are in a flood zone. So they can't have an RV because they're in a flood zone, but they can stay in a tent. That's what I'm reading. The Fox News host can't even believe it. The truth is so much more horrifying than any conspiracy theory. I guess we better see what this clip has to say.
Is that FEMA won't let you put a trailer on a piece of ground that is considered flood prone. Well, all these people are out of their houses because they got flooded, right?
Yes, sir, that's correct. So again, we started running into this a couple of weeks ago, and we started making phone calls and calling everybody, knocking on representatives' doors and trying to get some answers of why these places can't have tiny homes or FEMA trailers, we even got a text back from our Speaker of the House that said, they can apply for grants. These people are so far out of touch with what's going on. Senator Ted Budd, we did get in touch with him. And within 24 hours, he got something on the president's desk addressing this very topic. So here's what we got. The floodplain has, this is a 1,000-year flood. So the topographical map shows, Ezra maps show the floodplain lines. Well, there is rules in place. I spoke with the state fire marshal an hour ago to get some clarity. There's rules in place that say that you can't put these trailers on floodplain property. Well, everything up there is now considered floodplain. And what a lot of people don't understand is the rivers that were 100 foot wide, now they're 600 foot wide in some places. So people not only lost their homes, but they lost the land that their homes were on. It's down to bedrock. So it expands out the area to which you can't put these trailers. So that's why, the route that we have chosen to go, these small temporary trailers, they can be moved around. It's not the best and it's not permanent, but yeah, I mean, if somebody could, somebody in the government could say, hey, we're going to lift these temporary restrictions right now and let this be, man, it could get a lot of people out of the cold right now instantly.
Yeah, because a lot of those people are living in tents, right?
It is heartbreaking. We delivered a tent to a lady, me and my co-founder, Eric Robinson, delivered a tent 2 weeks ago. Delivered a camper to a lady 2 weeks ago. Her and her daughters were living in a tent, and she literally was fending off a bear attack the night before because they had food in their tent. This is no joke, man. This is somebody needs to. People in the government are so out of touch with what's going on up there. If they would just put their mud boots on and go up there and walk around, if it was their mother and daughter, they would have a change of heart.
One of the stories that I've heard is that, volunteers such as yourself were shuttling supplies up to the hardest hit areas up there around Asheville and beyond, and that FEMA was actually telling them, leave those supplies, give them to us. We're FEMA, and you can't do this anymore. Is that true?
So I can only speak on one incident that we had with one of our pilots in a helicopter. It was in the Pensacola area. We had one of our pilots had flown a mission up there and started unloading supplies and relief supplies. Went up to FEMA had just came in the day before. I had flown in there the day before that. FEMA had started setting up. The following day is when this pilot went in. And to my understanding, when they were the minute they started unloading, FEMA started seizing all of those assets. Well, we decided that, hey, that was the last time we were going to fly supply missions into that LZ. If they needed them or they had them, we had direct contact with EOC. They could have got them, but we wasn't playing that game.
Yeah, some help from the government, huh?
So like he said, you got to validate this stuff because I don't know what's true and what's not true, but lots of stories and lots of reports stack on one side. A little something on the world scale. You guys remember those China balloons, right? They called them spy balloons. Well, they're at it again. Apparently, Taiwan says Chinese balloon detected near island. People saying, nah, it's a weather balloon. Come on, guys. Other people saying, oh, balloon season again, huh? Another person writing in says, looks familiar. That was on X, but this is CBS News says another Chinese spy balloon, ? Taiwan says it spotted one flying over the region. So according to Taiwan's defense ministry, it says they have spotted a Chinese surveillance balloon over Taiwan Strait, along with a large-scale movement of military aircraft and ships. So not a lot of crazy in-depth information on this one, but so that you know, China's back at it again. Another one on a world scale, One American News, NATO military head urges business leaders to prepare for potential wartime scenario, urges extra Ukraine support. It goes on to say, Bauer stated, because while it may be military who wins battles, it's the economies that win wars. I don't know. What do you guys think about that one? Right here on Fox News, it says Sweden, Finland, and Norway released new advice on surviving war amid concerns over Russia-Ukraine escalation. It says down further, Sweden on Monday issued pamphlets to millions giving directions on what to do in the event that war breaks out or the nation is hit with an unexpected crisis. this. There's a picture of the pamphlet that they were given. And folks, I read this on something else the other day, and it's like, it was not just a million, it wasn't a couple million, it was millions. Anyway, I won't go too deep into that one because they don't like that topic either. Anyway, I'll stop right there, guys. Let me know what has your attention down in the comments. What buzz? What should I be talking about? I get a lot of tips from you guys on saying, spread this to the community. And with that, I got a lot more coming down the pipe, so make sure your notification bell is on so you stay up to date. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing. We'll see you guys on the next one.